Everybody's been moaning about the fuel prices in the UK lately, but what if we flipped it? Instead of seeing how far £10 of fuel can get me, I want to see how quickly I can use it. And to do this, I'm doing it in my 450 horsepower BMW. Oh, and to the future me, recording this video is probably the most expensive 3 minutes of my life. So here's the plan. I've already filled up with exactly the right amount of fuel, which is £10, and with today's prices, that's basically fumes. Then I've got one goal, to burn through it as quickly as possible, without breaking any speed limits and doing anything illegal, of course. Now, before we start this challenge, there's a few things I've got to tell you guys. Number one being, this isn't your standard BMW, it's a heavily tuned one, and it has to run on the Supreme fuel, which unfortunately is more expensive. And because this car is tuned, this thing does about 9 to the gallon when your foot's to the floor. So let's start the car up. Let's see the measurements, and I'll show you guys how this is going to work. First way is the car is going to live in sport mode. It's all ready to go. Oh yeah, and in case any of you are new around here and you don't know what 450 horsepower sounds like, I'll show you. Here we go. Yeah, that's just like £4 straight away. So like you might have guessed, this car does terribly on fuel, so how are we going to use exactly £10 worth as quickly as possible? Well, it's not healthy to run a modified car, especially with the tank on empty. So here's how this is going to work. We have 129 miles exactly. And on the gauge here, we're exactly halfway between this quarter mark. £10 is that there. This little movement right there. So as soon as we get down to a quarter of a tank, that's our £10 used. So without any further ado, let's get the seatbelt on. Make sure the car's in sport. Let's use this up as quickly as possible. I'm inserting this clip here. Yeah, using £10 worth is a little bit scary. This car is nuts. Stay tuned, because this video is going to be something else. So let's start off nice and steady, get this engine to the full operating temperature, and then we can start opening it up a bit. This thing's kind of scary. Now, I've just come up with the cheat code of how we can use this fuel even quicker while we're driving. This car has MHD, which means I have 4 switchable map slots, as you can see here. Now you might be wondering, what on earth are they? Well, basically, I have overrun and pop and bang maps on different sections. I don't like overrun, but it uses more fuel. So guess what? We're going to be using that today so that we can burn through this fuel even quicker. And in case you're wondering what they sound like, they sound something like this. Yeah, this car's a bit of a monster. I really don't like them, but it's the only way to use the fuel up quickly. Yeah, good job I'm doing this in the countryside, because if I was doing this in town, I'd look like a right idiot. These overrun bangs. They're so stupid. Let's put a bit of foot down here. This car is stupid. Okay, we're now approaching a road where there's not as much sunlight, so I won't actually be blinded. However, let's open this thing up a bit. Windows down. My days. You guys close to the window so you can hear these overruns. It's mental. When the exhaust gets hot, the overrun burble has become so much more aggressive. I might have to turn them down a little bit. I'm kind of annoying myself, let alone all the cows in the field. This car is so much fun. And the shut off is mental. I'll demonstrate now. My goodness me. Alright, we've arrived at a pretty sick location. Another way to use the fuel up is a burnout. And yes, before anyone asks, it's going to be a one-wheel peel because this car has an open diff. Still saving up for that LSD, but eventually the burnout's going to be 10 times better with an LSD. But for now, let's get a cool burnout with a one-wheel peel. We've already gone down 15 miles on the range, and we've done a whole mile. 1 mile, and we've used 15 miles. Somebody tell me how that math is working, because I didn't do very good in school for maths, but I know there's something wrong there. Even just driving uphill, just the fuel we're using is crazy. This thing just pulls though. Yes, my theory was correct. It was just a one-wheel peel. Unfortunately, no 2 wheels with that one because we're still yet to get an LSD, but that will be eventually. It's on the cards. If you guys have any recommendations, make sure you leave them in the comment section. Guys, we're almost there. We're so close to using this £10 up. I have figured out another way how to use the fuel up though, and that's anti-lag. Let's hear some anti-lag. Because I said this car was mapped with MHD, And yes, it's mapped with 16 PSI of anti-lag too, so let's hear it. So for anyone new, we basically, little bit of foot on the throttle, and then we hold this resonator button on the steering wheel, and then we'll hear it. All right, building up the rev slightly. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. That must have been like a whole pound used up, just like that. That sounds crazy, and it's so loud in person. Here we go though. A little bit of a red line. That's one way to use the fuel up. By the way, the engine is warm. We're at all good safe parameters for that. This car is nuts though. The shut off just makes me smile every time. It's something I haven't had in any other car, and it's something so unique to this one. I don't even know how it's possible, but we've done 3 miles now, and we've used 25 miles of the tank, which is just absolutely crazy. I think it's time. Let's do a third gear. We'll go to a second gear pull, 3.5k RPM. We'll go foot to the floor, get this thing using some more fuel. I did an automatic to be able to change gear. We're almost there. I have another way. Let's just keep building boost, let it off the throttle, building boost, let it off the throttle. Let's just keep doing it. This thing is so crazy. People say the B58 is bulletproof. They're not lying. This thing really is bulletproof. Let's just do some more anti-lag, I guess. Stupid. Well guys, that was a fun video, and by the way, my engine, it smells hot. It really smells hot, so I'm just going to let it cool down for a little bit. Did we complete the challenge though? Let me show you guys the gauge. Yes, the challenge is completed, hence why I'm back home now, because I said to myself I'd only come home once this challenge of burning 10 pounds as quickly as possible was complete. Somehow, the needle moved as far as we wanted it to go, and we also used upwards of 30 miles of range, and we actually covered a total of 4.5 miles of total driving distance, which is crazy. And there we have it. I'll put a picture on screen now. We've finished this video. We've gone just under the line. We've used exactly 10 pounds worth of fuel. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video though. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. And also you can subscribe if you want to see loads more content like this or any other content on my M240i, the B58, or just general BMW stuff. Didn't really expect my chair to go back so far then. Apart from that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.